I'm Dr. John Ross, co-founder of the American Reliability and Maintenance Institute. My colleague Justin Smith and I have put together what we believe is the finest storeroom certification program on the planet. This is for storeroom managers and for storeroom technicians, essentially the salaried personnel and the hourly personnel. Now look, maybe certification's not for you. We certainly understand that and can respect that. Maybe you just want to take the finest storeroom course that's available anywhere on the planet. We think we've got that program for you, and we'd like to invite you to come out and join us. I'm going to walk through the program contents, the course contents. Now, I've kind of limited this a little bit because this really is an impactful and a very engaging course. We're going to start with the discussion about where we've been, kind of asleep at the switch in many cases, talk about what are some common issues and concerns that most storeroom personnel have, most maintenance organizations have. We're going to have a discussion on the types of inventory, the functions of inventory control, what we're really supposed to do. A lot of people come to this course just for this next point, which is what parts to stock and how many to stock. We're going to spend time talking about the security. In fact, we visit storeroom security several times. We also want to talk about the storeroom layout and the flow. Let's face it, if your storeroom was to burn to the ground today, I mean, nobody hurt, of course, but all your inventory was lost. There's no way you'd lay it out exactly as it's laid out now and replace one for one everything that you lost. So let's have a conversation about that. We're going to talk about parts numbering. There's some things you should do and some things you should avoid. Let's talk about key performance indicators and metrics, the big ones: storeroom accuracy, storeroom service level, storeroom inventory value. These are some of the big ones, but also the turn rate is a big one. You'll understand that and how to calculate that. Efficient storeroom practices. What makes storerooms efficient? What makes them effective? Inventory management, carrying costs. That's that hidden cost that we need to understand how to calculate, and we need to understand how to use it. Here's some other sort of elements that a lot of people attend a storeroom class to learn. You're going to learn it here, and you're going to learn how to calculate it. Min-max, reorder point, reorder quantity, kind of keeping with that three-letter acronym, economic order quantity. We're going to have an in-depth discussion about ABC analysis. I think this is one of the elements very few people understand, therefore they don't do it. And if you don't do it, you don't get the benefit. So come out and learn ABC analysis. Another discussion on security. Then we're going to get into some of the fundamentals of a storeroom, just running a great organization, 5S and lighting, environmental and safety, and how the storeroom can help your environmental and your safety processes in your organization. A really in-depth conversation. I'm really proud of this one. We're going to talk about spare parts, the PM program, essentially caring for your spares to make sure that that item still has its lifespan on it when you put it into service. We're going to talk about budgeting and how the storeroom is the principal agency that can help a maintenance department maintain their budget. Then we'll talk about kitting, kind of a fun conversation on kitting. A lot of people don't understand it. A lot of people have just given up on it, but let's talk about it. And then we're going to finish the conversation, the program, as far as the storeroom course, with what I think is the secret to a world-class storeroom, and that's the store stock committee. Now, what makes it an advanced storeroom class, and this is what makes our program, I think, one of a kind in the world. In fact, it's the only certification for storeroom program in the world. We're going to talk about the advanced elements of reliability that the storeroom is absolutely critical on. I just made a quick list of those. Root cause analysis, the storeroom has to be engaged in any analysis of problem and problem solving. Reliability block diagram, calculating failure rates. This can help you determine if you should stock a part or not stock a part. We're going to show you how to do that. Reliability metrics, mean time between failure and mean time to repair. These are critical, and the storeroom personnel need to be engaged and able to make these calculations. Life cycle cost. Who can argue that the cost of spare parts and materials is critical to life cycle costs? We'll show you how to calculate that. And then we're going to have a real in-depth discussion on process guides. There are 32 processes and practices in a storeroom. We're going to learn about many of those, and we're going to learn how to create process guides. Look, this is a serious program for serious people, but it's a fun and engaging program. It is the best storeroom certification. It is the only storeroom certification program on the planet, but it's absolutely the best storeroom class. I hope that you'll come out and join us.